cells are constantly dying, so technically we are dying.
They're being replaced though.
They are, but they're constantly dying, so no matter what, we're constantly.
That's right. Where is Aiden?
Here, he's getting surgery.
He's what?
He's getting surgery.
Oh, that's right. He told us that.
Your wife's surgery. He's not gonna be able to talk to me so.
He's gonna have black eyes too. It's gonna be...
We're gonna laugh at him and he'll be like,
No, it's Rowan has black eye also.
Rowan is a black guy too.
Who?
Rowan.
Rowan, who hit you? Nathan.
Can I leave?
No. I know.
I just leave.
All right. It is Friday. The very last thing we did was listen, please. It was truly wasn't challenging, right? But for a lot of kids will look at it as challenge because it's new, it's visually stuff that doesn't fit into what we've been doing. It's got this weird italicized letter F and there's an X. And I remember the first time I learned it, I was a little confused myself. If you listen to the class, hopefully I tried to make it a little bit less confusing the way my teacher taught it to me. But in reality, all we were doing was doing something we did in the very first chapter, or very section of this chapter, which was evaluating equation, just using function notation. And then the second thing, actually the more important thing, and it was on that NWE test a couple times, it would say, is this table a function? Or is this graph a function? Well, now you know how to do that. If there's any repeats in the X, it is not a function. If there's if they give you a graph, if the vertical line ever touches 2 points at the same time, it is not a function. That's the big takeaway. The function thing, we will see. I mean, like I said, once we get past geometry next year, it's like everything's a function. You're going to see that function notation all the time. It's just a big fancy way of erasing the Y and telling someone, hey, it's a function. I'm already cold. You guys are crazy. I know she is. That's why I put the temperature down. Big picture. Any big questions on the homework last night?
16 and 7. I mean, 15. What are those two numbers?
15,
16.
All right. Let's take a look at number 15 and number 16. What? No.
Take it.
Why not?
Well, then that's the perfect reason why. What's the classical saying? Any club that would have me as a member is a club I don't want to belong to. All right, who's got the page number? Chapter 8.
381.
381. I need everyone to be quiet though so we can do this. 381, you want 15 and 16?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, quiet please. Hey. 15 and 16. All right, 15 and 16. Simply states that you have the function r of t. You have the function r of t. This can be written two ways. You can write r parentheses t. You can write r colon t. Okay, 15 and 16. I shouldn't have assigned that because I certainly didn't tell you about that in class. All it basically means is you're given this. I need to turn this. R of t and both ways, function notation, non-function notation. And then it says that the function itself is t plus 1. And on this one, it has an arrow. The arrow and the equal sign mean the same thing, t plus 1. And then you're told, for instance, on A, to find r of 3. Throw 3 in for t, you get
3.
You get
3 plus 2 on
you get 4.
5.
What?
I thought we were naming off.
11 and a half. Okay. And then it says for part B, it says put a -2 in. We put a -2. -2 plus 1.
Okay, I think I'm sorry the arrow.
No, agreed. And I apologize. I'm not sure why it's taken 3 years for me to figure out that I assigned something. Either the other classes were smarter than you guys and they figured it out themselves, or they told me the same thing and I'm just old and I forgot to change it. Rarely do you get this notation. Rarely. I mean, I don't really see it in any of the math books that I've studied. Do you see this? I mean, I understand what it means, but rarely, I mean, everyone uses function notation, this second one right here. All right. So if you didn't get 15 or 16, that's cool. All right. Any other questions? All right. Yeah. So what do we got going on? I said I didn't like to give a test after a 3-day weekend. So I think it would be folly for me to assume that you guys would sit there for 3 days and study and you'd come ready to work. So
what's studying?
Exactly. So what we're going to do is we're going to just simply have 2 days of practice tests. Now, some of you probably can get by with 1 day. You'd be perfectly fine because you would study. So I'm going to give you 2 days of the same thing. However, this is for Sierra, for Landon, for you four when you get to chattiness, and actually Rowan and Ethan has been doing pretty good.
Ethan.
He's in 10th grade.
Ethan.
No, I'm calling him his brother's name. Keegan is his brother. Caden, thank you. Who is Ethan?
Ethan's a 10th grader.
All right.
Ethan.
I should remember that because Caden, Keegan both start with the same letter. All right. Usually Rowan and Keegan, Caden, they usually do good for the first at least 20 minutes. It's the second 20 minutes of the class that they do poorly on. But I'm saying, honest to God, I will have have this up there. We can do it together. We can, hey, show me how to do number 4 type thing. Since we literally had the quiz this week, right? All that material is on the test, so you're somewhat familiar with it. It should be still somewhat fresh in your mind. As you do this, just please take it seriously and put 2 solid days worth of study. If you put today as a solid day in class, you don't have to do any work this weekend because you already have it done. There's probably a bit more than you can get done in class. Yeah.
Can I pass it out?
You may.
No, your opinion doesn't matter.
No, you got one eye. All right. So once again, I'm going to say this. We can do this together. If you guys all want to say, hey, let's all do it together, or we can do individual work, and then you can say, hey, I don't know how to do number 10. Show me number 10. Or we can do it completely in silence, right? That sort of thing. But Sierra, I really need you to work. Landon, I really need you to not mess around. The rest of you, I think, will do okay.
I do work most of the time.
I'll agree with that statement 100%. Right. That's why I'm agreeing with that statement. It's the other part of most that gives me the issues.
Yeah.
But like I said, if there's something you don't understand, even though we just did a review on this Monday, ask.
I do number 1.
Number 1 is calculating the slope. In order, if I give you a graph, what do you need?
You need to find the 2 dots.
I need 2 points. Find the 2 points. Remember, it's rise over run. A couple of you, not many, not even most, but just a few of you even knew what to do when you put the numbers reversed from each other.
Well, it's -1 4 5 out.
And remember, the answers are in the back.
Oh wait, you're right. Good right.
All right. Do we have anybody live today? We have no one live.
Well, that's kind of sucks.
Dead, Jim.
Oh, Peter Apocalypse, everyone's dead. Everyone's dead. There's no me.
Bless you.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Once again, I gave you on every single one, you're going to see that same pattern where I show you a vertical and a horizontal line for almost everything. And that's just to really put emphasis on the fact that the vertical and horizontal lines are a little bit different than the other ones.
Wait, so it's vertical means no solution.
No
I mean
slope,
0
no slope.
slash.
Yes.
And then horizontal means undefined.
No.
No, you said undefined on
Horizontal is 0.
Undefined means that there's not a number that defines it. So that would be the vertical line. The 0 means that the slope is between a negative and a positive number. 0, it's horizontal. Can't see what you wrote. Is that a vertical? No, you got it backwards.
Wait, so vertical is right undefined of vertical.
So if it's a vertical line,
Yes.
you look at what they write, they say undefined, right?
Okay.
That symbol right there means there's not a number.
Okay.
0 is a number, right?
Okay.
So the horizontal line is the one where the slope is 0. That's not a horizontal line.
Okay, so vertical is undefined.
Vertical is undefined. And remember, we're talking the slope. I mean, the line is defined by x equals k, right? But the slope itself for vertical lines is undefined.
Okay, there you go.
Which is why we can't put a vertical line in the form y equals mx plus b, because there's no slope, like there's no number. That's also why a vertical line is not a function, because it fails, obviously, since it's a vertical line, it fails the vertical line test.
So on number 5, we just have 2 negatives.
Let me get there. Number 5. All right, so we're given 2 points and it says calculate the slope.
Yeah, I know how to do that.
What's the slope formula?
It's x1,
Uh-uh.
y1.
No.
No, it's x1 over. It's right there. I did it right. It's right there.
It's negative
y2
x.
minus y1 over x1.
Yeah.
y2 minus y1 over x2.
No, I was naming the points. I wasn't doing that. I was naming the points.
Oh, okay, even better. Good job. So yeah, x1, y1, x2, y2. All right, that's what you're saying, then you were right.
I was right. And you were trying to make me think I was wrong when I was right. And I did it
We
right.
were both talking past each other.
Okay. Well, I was just thinking. So I plugged the numbers in.
So tell me what to plug in.
So did you plug in negative 13 for y2?
And if you're going to make a mistake, it's because the very next symbol is a
Subtraction.
I always put that. It doesn't matter whether the answer's positive. I put that there so I don't screw it up. Then I look at y1.
Negative 15.
So now here's where once you do a bunch of these, you realize, well, 2 negatives turns into a.
Positive.
If you don't do that, then it's going to look like that, right?
So then it would just turn into adding,
It would. So this whole thing turns into plus.
and there's no negative 13.
Well, no, negative 13 still stays negative. It was that
Okay.
these 2 minus signs turn into 1
So it
plus
would
2.
turn into negative. I mean, positive 2.
Positive. Well, why don't you do the bottom?
Okay, so then it'd be x3 minus 1.
Which is 3 plus 1.
Okay, just make sure.
Okay. Why does this not show the instruction for this one? I did it again. Interesting. Is it because that's why I had the wrong button pressed. There we go. Chris, you confident?
Yes.
Good. You should be, because you pass the quiz, you can pass the test. Absolutely. Go. That's why humans have 2 eyeballs.
Okay, what happened was we're playing basketball and I fell and he's like I guess tripped on me and sat on me.
Is that really the lie you're going to tell yourself?
That's actually.
I am being serious.
What happened?
Then I threw the ball to Hannah and I guess my finger went to his eye. And I don't know why my finger's all swollen.
And then I saw Rowan, and I thought, boy, I want to jam my finger in his eye.
Like I can barely move. It hurts to move my
Number
finger
7,
now.
there's some weird addition as well.
Okay, so tell us what to do.
Well, you set it up like we just did before.
Okay.
So it'd be negative 10 over negative 10 minus 10
Which gives you?
is 0.
That's easy.
And then it has negative 17 equals
So
0.
does it really matter what number's on the bottom?
Yeah.
0 over any number is,
0. Oh, so sleeping in class.
it's a horizontal line.
Okay, thank you.
Now you do have to confirm that the bottom is a number, because if the bottom is 0,
It's negative 17.
well, you got labeled right. As long as that's an X and that's a Y. Now what I think you did is you went X, X, Y, Y. Or is that just like, so then
talking to Nathan how my kid
I would write over here, Y2 minus Y1
in my pocket.
Oh, it's real one
Yeah, no, it's real.
over X2 minus X1.
Honestly, kinda is my guy.
And then all you have to do is you got to look at this number, Y2, find Y2. And you do it into 13. It says write a minus sign. Did you write a minus sign? And then it says Y1. Where's Y1?
So there's a 0 on the bottom.
Did you write negative 15? So you had a minus, which turns the whole thing into a plus, which I can see you wrote plus. And that's fine. Perfect. So far, so good. And then it's x2, which is, and you wrote 3, minus, that's where you left off. So it'd be minus 1, which returns just like on the top. So you got 3 plus 1 and negative 13 plus 15. Well, the bottom's easy. 3 plus 1 is, so 4 is on the bottom for sure, but what is negative 13 plus 15? Same or different signs? So does that mean add or subtract? The signs are different. Big minus small would give you 2. And then more positives, more negatives. So that's why it's 2 over 4, which reduces to. Check back. 2.5. There you go.
Can we
And
just
then
do
so for
2.
dots?
Say again?
Can we just do 2 points?
Oh yeah, absolutely. When you do your graph, the question was, can we just do two dots instead of 4 dots? And I've always said yes. The only reason we do 4 dots when we're doing practices because it's just practice. But Riley, what you really need to be able to do is you go both ways. So, I mean, you can put that first dot there on the y-intercept, and then you get your second dot. But I also you have to have the ability to go there, because what will happen is, if the y-intercept is positive 10, you're way up here. There's no room up here. You got to be able to go in the other direction. Yeah. What number are you trying to do? 9? I got you. Okay. So the slope you got on this line was what? What did you calculate the slope as? Okay, I'm going to pick this point, and I'm going to pick no, yes. So it looks like up 1, 2, 3, good, over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 3/5 is your M, or your slope, right? The other number we need is B. What's the name of B? What have I been calling B? If M is the slope, B is the, what's the name of the formula? Slope. So if M is slope, B is, what kind of intercept? X or Y? Is it the X or the Y intercept? And here's Y. Where's the line across the Y-axis? That's your B. Sophia? Confident?
I'm gonna do number 15.
You pass that quiz, we can pass this test. Are you hypoglycemic at all?
It's vertical.
Low blood sugar?
No, it's just
People that have low blood sugar, it's not uncommon. It's not really thick. Sugar in your bloodstream. So if you have low blood sugar, one of the common symptoms is shakiness, sweating.
Yeah, we had a lot of
not
sugar.
very well.
Tries over what's dry. One. Obviously.
So that's
Well, thankfully, we all
Probably differently use my mom.
my heart
Our heart stops.
It's supposed to be like 6
She loves you until almost 3.
stings to
Okay,
run
tell
over
them.
a minute. Okay, so wow.
I'm sending it for needed.
What's it asking you to do, right? And the slope intercept, we'll find the slope, and we'll find the, so you find the slope, by using y 2 minus 1, over x 2 minus x 1.
My dopey hair. Probably my dog hair.
It doesn't matter which one you use. What is the slope first? Because you gotta have the slope. Did you already calculate the slope? Where did you get the 1 from? So here's the steps. You do the slope first, then you take 1 point, throw it in for x, y, and since you just calculate slope, and then you only have 1 unknown p. But you gotta calculate the slope first.
So slope-intercept is the one where you have
Y equals mx plus b.
Yeah. Aren't they all involved with y equals
Yes, because we only know two so far. We know slope-intercept and standard form.
There's correlations and no correlations. Really?
Yeah, that's not the form.
I skipped all that.
Correlation, no correlate. That's the easy one.
Yeah, I'm doing it now. My music's better than this. Well, actually, I kind of don't doubt that.
Hard to believe. I need to take a video, but everyone is working except for Rowan, who's injured. Amazing. I'm proud of you people.
I want to get good grade in this test because I want to be a tryhard. I want to get an A in class so I can get $20.
Is that what your parents said?
Yeah, every A I get $20 because they're that desperate for.
Give me 10 and I'll give you the A.
What?
Give me 10.
Fair. I'm good driving, bro. I'm good driving.
If it were only that easy.
And life is that easy. You can just drive up the nearest person.
You can, and if you get caught, you go to jail.
What's if I get caught though? You don't get caught.
Guess what everyone in prison says?
I got caught.
No, they actually say I'm innocent. They got the wrong person. What they usually say.
Well, if I'm gonna get caught, and then
Prisons are full of people who got caught. Or falsely accused. There's always.
He came at
The
me and I
human
fell
condition
off.
is such that humans make mistakes, as you clearly show in math class. We all make mistakes. So the belief that our judicial system is perfect is not. It's not true. What?
I don't want to see it. Gross.
It's what? What does that mean?
Dude.
This is what happened. Now remember this moment clearly.
Happy.
And then 40 years from now, you will have the same moment. When you say to your kids, what does that mean? Explain to me. Because I remember back. Okay, this is really old and dated, but my parents grew up before there were phones. You know, my dad grew up without electricity, right? So electronic things were common. And they grew up at the time when there was no phone numbers, right? There was, you lifted up the phone and a person talked to you immediately and they said, number please. And you'd say, I need to dial the Johnsons. And then the operator would record, you know. So when VCRs first came out in the 70s, and it gave you the ability to, I mean, the idea that you could watch a movie at home was incredibly remarkable. It also, you guys don't know because you don't know VCRs, but VCRs was the first opportunity that you could record things. And that was a big thing. It was like, what? I can actually record the football game? Oh yeah, you do have black on. Look at you.
Oh my God!
Where's the ice back?
Nathan, good job.
You got no joke, you got an injury.
You better be good for tonight. We have a
Kiss it to make it good better.
Guess it to make it go better.
But my parents couldn't operate a VCR. It was just, you take the thing, you push it in, you press the plate, they couldn't operate.
I went to like,
And they would say to me, they was like, make this thing work.
I went to a cabin where they had a VCR and
Sometimes it's stuck in my head now. Before I start singing, now it's stuck in my head.
I am a jerk.
Where you at, Sierra?
Why are you stressing out over it?
Really? The whole thing?
No, it's not.
So what do you think?
Okay.
Because you didn't get a B or an A on the quiz.
I gotta be on the quiz.
I got a plus. I know you are. I know you are.
She wasn't very. Wait, no.
It's fine now you know.
I gotta be honest. I don't really care. I did better than half this class. No, you gotta keep.
Yeah. To confirm, sure. Oh, no, there's nothing here that you got. I mean, other than that, remember in Untitled Chapter, couple of them have interest. I'm not, there's only gonna be like one question. That's
It's not gonna be that.
I finished, Mr. Chartier.
That's your only mistake.
No.
I hate the deck.
Okay. I'm gonna give you the question too. One of the ones I'm gonna ask you something about number the seed.
No, not called rise for.
What's the number of pieces?
Good God, Rowan.
Yes, I mean, it's gonna be, it's not exact number, that's what you. The other one says 21. There's no 21. We're extrapolating.
That's it.
This
Oh,
is
you want
not
tape?
right.
Well, let's put the strap.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not.
I don't got tape.
Look for
And
tape.
that's on, you know, on all of these.
The tape?
See you right?
Set it like that.
Oh, no. It's all right.
It was worse.
I just set it like that. There's one more stuff. Thanks, solid. That's not the end of the call. Oh, well, this one. No. Yeah.
Sierra, do you ever slow down when you do things? No?
My parents told me that.
You're like 100 miles an hour?
100 miles an hour. We only want to go 25.
I was like that as well too. I had to force myself to slow down because I just make too many mistakes.
Apparently, it's minus 2 unorganized.
I'm sure there's things that you probably do slow down. You just gotta channel those thoughts.
She also has very bad mental health, so maybe that's part of it.
Tired.
Okay, so we promise to right through the slope intercept. Second one is the slope. One plus 2, 1 plus 2. See why 2? 0. Minus the 1. It's supposed to y 1. That's weird. That's why. Negative 2. X2
Or like,
minus.
find one of those finger being ends on.
Got some lucky, right?
Nathan.
Let me see it. Injury my brain. How kind of weird are you?
Like, I'll be able to play.
Just like 20 minutes like that.
So slope is down. You use it all space. Okay. So we're at 5 more minutes. Hey, boys. Yeah.
We're getting that good drive.
I know, I guess you're wrong.
Riley, come sit down. Your paper's wrong. My leg. I'm grading.
And what we're gonna do is, we're gonna because now of the slope, if you use the p value,
Oh,
I know, yeah, so we're gonna substitute. Okay. It is. So remember, this is how I.
If I go get a new bag, it's just
What is slope? I walk on the X side.
You're around, right?
Whoa.
Big stiff in there.
I know.
Hurts. You're gonna have to do it.
It's
I'll
not
do it for you.
three.
I'll do it. No, trust me. You're gonna have to
Therefore,
do
B
it.
equals.
You're gonna have to for a while, so you're gonna start-
So now you know
Your
B
shoes
is
be your
one,
units.
M is three. Y equals slope three. And Y equals.
There you go.
So you were right about that being the
Back and forth. Back and forth, Nathan. Back and forth.
I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna
Back and forth, Nathan. Back and forth.
See, I broke my finger last week.
No, you're gonna do something bad.
You're gonna have to keep moving it. Keep bending it.
Yeah. Hey, Rowan, go back to your recovery room over there. Actually, when you turn sideways is when it gets back.
Let me see.
When I looked at you head on, I couldn't
Oh, it
tell,
is
but
bulging.
when you turn, then I can see the red.
Keep moving it. Keep moving it, bro. Nathan, you gotta keep moving it, man.
Can't.
I know, that's your problem. You get some ice in the air. You're polite. Why? Come on, Nathan. Come on. You really just lost.
Third time's the charm with German.
Remember that is.
So I recommend this.
So these are going by what?
He's lost
If
every
that's
single
fact, then
time.
this will be 2004. If they go by four,
The first like 5 rounds, there was no wins. And then I started.
these are actually going by.
Oh, no.
Well, then that's 2001, that's 2002.
I smacked Nick.
Look over here. Go from here to here is 4, so halfway would be 2002. Right?
He just doesn't know.
So that would be 4, 6, 8. Now, go straight up from there, and straight across.
Oh,
Whatever
I
that
should have
is,
done that.
and you have to do some guessing, estimation.
No, I see my
I mean, it's not
Which
that,
is
but
why
it's
that
close, right? Okay, so once again, if this is a million,
You gotta add.
100,000.
Nazi.
50,000.
Yeah. It really is that hard. Don't be sad.
Last it's from the estimation.
I didn't know I had to throw it okay.
No, you just go here.
So you gotta know what-
Oh! You're retarded.
He actually thought.
I saw the line go up and I was like,
Yeah, I'm confused here.
So this is.
I don't know if I like that. So you do 1 minus 2.
I don't know why.
On the other
You
one,
got
that's
0
wrong.
minus 1. Whatever, 1 over 1.
So
Yay.
not
Victory is mine no matter what.
this value, that's from the one.
I don't know what he's doing. I'm gonna ask him. He's asking me what it's doing. Yeah, I'm trying to get these that I wrote out down.
Hey, 2 minutes.
Mr. Charrier.
Roland, stay in class.
He has this. You explained it except I was explaining wrong. No, that's, I was confused too. Let's in no world is -1 minus 1. Yeah. Frank. Yeah, although that's not possible.
I'm not gonna flex it.
We're just trying to. I finished it.
Did you really finish it?
Yeah, I actually did. Look.
You're a liar, she did.
How's the piece of thing?
Copied me.
I don't know.
Mr. Sturdy, on the sheet, you have one of the answers on. Like it's
Show me.
Oh, my major killings were.
Number what?
21. Yeah. So it's
This one?
yeah. So
Before,
one.
before you guys
Yeah.
leave,
Is it different?
Hey.
or
if I can have your attention, I'm going to each class. I just want to remind everyone that we cannot bring tools to school. Okay, that means anything, toolbox, screwdriver, anything, we consider that as a weapon. And if anything is guys, are you listening?
Yeah, I'm listening.
What I just said?
Don't bring tools to school.
Tool, okay, so listen, and do not, anytime you mess with anything on the building, anything, any light switches, whatever, it's a serious offense.